Hamilton reveals the only way his Ferrari's SF-25 can win. Lewis Hamilton's first British Grand Prix as a Ferrari driver was supposed to be a homecoming masterpiece. Silverstone, 150,000 roaring fans, and Hamilton, the master of this circuit, reunited with glory. Instead, as rain swept across the circuit and the surface turned treacherous, Hamilton found himself wrestling a machine that simply wouldn't cooperate. His Ferrari SF-25, a car that had shown flashes of brilliance in practice, transformed into what he later called the most difficult car he's ever driven in these conditions. This wasn't hyperbole. The SF-25 snapped loose mid-corner, skated unpredictably under throttle, and robbed Hamilton of any confidence to attack the slick tarmac with the precision he's known for. But as much as this result, a fourth-place finish, might sting, the seven-time world champion didn't just walk away frustrated. He walked away determined, armed with a clear vision for what Ferrari's engineers must fix, not just for the remainder of 2025, but for their entire 2026 challenger. So, what exactly does Hamilton want from the SF-25? Why does he believe this machine fights him at the very moment he needs it to obey? And what can Ferrari realistically change mid-season? Or will the full transformation have to wait until next year? This is the story of an all-time great driver identifying a car's deepest flaws in real time and what his evolving relationship with Ferrari's technical team now means for the future of this partnership. At the core of Hamilton's critique is stability, or rather the lack of it. In the dry, the SF-25 has occasionally looked competitive, but as soon as Silverstone's infamous showers hit, the car's most fundamental weakness was exposed: inconsistent mechanical balance, especially at low speeds. Ferrari's engineers have chased grip all season, but Hamilton's feedback cuts deeper. He's demanding a car that responds predictably across changing conditions, a machine that won't surprise him mid-corner. The telemetry from Silverstone revealed what Hamilton felt instinctively: sudden shifts in front-to-rear balance through low-speed corners, where the car's aerodynamic platform becomes unstable as downforce levels drop dramatically. This instability forces Hamilton to hold back, unable to attack apexes aggressively or get on throttle early, essential in wet conditions when the grip window is already razor-thin. The SF-25's rear-end unpredictability under load transfer was particularly pronounced exiting slower turns like Village and Vale, where Hamilton repeatedly struggled to lay down power without risking snap oversteer. Ferrari's engineers will need to analyze the interaction between their rear suspension geometry and aero platform compliance, potentially revisiting anti-squat characteristics and the behavior of the rear axle under varying load scenarios. Hamilton's feedback is already shaping next year's car, a car that will need to work across a wider range of conditions if Ferrari is serious about supporting a championship campaign. What makes this period fascinating is that it's rare for a driver of Hamilton's caliber to embed himself so deeply into a team's technical DNA so early in a relationship. If Ferrari listens, this feedback loop could turn into one of the great development stories of modern Formula One. An all-time great driver dragging a legendary but inconsistent team back to the front, not through rhetoric, but through relentless detail. In the short term, though, Hamilton knows that points lost now might haunt Ferrari later. The immediate challenge is clear: minimize weaknesses during unpredictable weekends while Ferrari's 2026 project quietly takes shape. And as the grid heads to Spa, a circuit where weather unpredictability is a tradition, all eyes will be on how quickly Ferrari can transform Hamilton's feedback into results. Long-term, Hamilton's demands for the SF-25 and beyond represent more than just a technical wish list. They signal a shift in Ferrari's driver-engineer relationship model. Historically, Ferrari has struggled when balancing internal hierarchy, driver influence, and technical leadership. If Hamilton succeeds in embedding himself into the DNA of Ferrari's future designs, it could mark the beginning of a new era for the Scuderia, one where the driver is no longer just a feedback source, but a co-architect of performance philosophy. This dynamic has echoes of Schumacher's era, where Michael, alongside Ross Brawn and Rory Byrne, didn't just drive the cars, but fundamentally shaped the team's operational mindset. For Hamilton, this may be the legacy he seeks. Not just wins, but a Ferrari reborn around modern design principles that prioritize consistency, adaptability, and confidence-inspiring balance. And this matters for the sport itself. Formula One thrives on these moments of transformation, when a great driver and an iconic team come together to rewrite their destinies. Whether Hamilton can pull Ferrari into this future remains uncertain, but the seeds are being planted now. Silverstone's disappointment wasn't the end of the story. It might be remembered as the turning point where Hamilton's Ferrari project truly began, not just as a racing chapter, but as a cultural and technical reformation within one of the sport's most storied institutions.